Hello everyone, and welcome back to Stories with me, Jesse. And today we're once again looking at some crazy customer service stories that real waiters and baristas deal with every day over at Reddit/talesfromyourserver. Let me know what you think of these stories in the comments, as well as any suggestions you might have that we may just use in a future installment. Make sure to call ahead or expect longer than usual wait times, cause we're getting started now. Our first story is titled, Recent Karens in the Pandemic Have Been Interesting. I got a Karen a few weeks ago, and I thought you guys might get a kick out of this one. It's as if she evolved to make her Karenness fit into the pandemic perfectly. Side note, I work in a city in Florida where lots of rich people come to retire and live out their days. It's a very particular crowd we get at my job. Anyway, these three sit down and immediately they want to sit in the booth that is off limits because of social distancing. Our restaurant is at 50% capacity. The table is clearly marked that it's off limits, so that's red flag number one. I go over and greet them, get drinks and appetizer orders, and when I come back with the apps, she starts complaining about the silverware and chopsticks. I work at an American Chinese food chain. She's saying it's unsanitary for us to be reusing forks and chopsticks. I guess we just never wash them. And she wants to speak to a manager, but not until the end of the meal. So the entire time I'm serving her, I'm on my best behavior because I know she's going to be looking for something to complain about, and I don't want it to be me. I bring them plastic forks, spoons, and knives. I will admit she asked me for wooden chopsticks, and I was waited, and they were way in the closet in back of house. I forgot, and she never brought it up again. That was the ammo I gave her. So food comes out, I go back to check a minute later. "It's cold," she says, "and my friends." The friend's husband said his was not cold. Okay, no problem. Send it to the kitchen, have them retoss it. This was problem number 2 for her. At the end of the meal, it's her friend's birthday. We are closing in about 5 minutes. I bring out the birthday dessert, get it comped off the meal, ask if they are good, they are, and drop the check. Karen says, "I'll speak to that manager now." Just wow. I get the chef who is in training for FOH manager and has zero Karen tolerance. She tells him I refused her chopsticks for the entire meal, and we are so unsanitary for using reusable forks and chopsticks. We are unclean, blah, blah, blah. My manager explained how we wash everything 3 times in 140 degrees, I think. Don't quote me on that temp. And it would kill anything on the dishes. Let's not forget she's eating off the plates, drinking out of the cups. Kinda defeats the whole argument. She said I was awful. How could I be awful when I am an angel? Makes no sense. I didn't ask her if she wanted coffee. It's 5 minutes to close. We don't have any coffee. And then asked him, "What are you going to do for me?" He said, "I'm not going to do anything. Maybe you should order to go next time." She said she was never coming back, and it was wonderful. Wouldn't that be nice if restaurants could just stockpile on metal utensils, throwing them out after each use? What was this Karen thinking? And then adding up all the tiny indiscretions to try and get a free meal out of the deal. It honestly amazes me how much people think they can get away with when tensions are still high out there. But what do you guys think? Let's start a conversation about it in the comments. Moving on, our next story is called Karen is sick and tired of eating takeout. Karen gets arrested. A fellow restaurant owner in my area was doing takeout/delivery only during the pandemic, when restaurants in our state were told we could open up for dine-in at 25%. He decided, as did I and many others, to not open as it just wasn't worth it. All orders at his place, be it a delivery or customer picking up a takeout order, was done outside. Nobody except employees were allowed inside. Orders were taken outside to the parking lot by an employee. This happened a few days after the 25% was announced. Enter Karen and her not Karen friend. They drive up and get out of the car. Employee is delivering a takeout order and sees Karen and not Karen. Tells them the restaurant is not open for dine-in. Karen is not happy, proceeds to scream how sick and tired she is of eating takeout, and they will serve her and her friend now. Employee tells her that is not going to happen. Karen kicks him in the leg. Employee manages to still get in front of her so she can't get in the door. Karen doubles down and stomps on his foot. The owner witnessed the initial kick and subsequent stomp, tells an employee to call 911 while he runs out to help the employee. Karen, not knowing the police are already being called, screams to Not Karen to call the cops. Not Karen has done nothing. She is frozen in place, in the middle of the parking lot, not believing what she is witnessing from Karen. Karen is still trying to get in the door but can't, as employee she assaulted has fallen in front of the door. This would have been a good time for Karen and Not Karen to leave. Cop shows up and Karen thinks he is there to order the owner to let her and her friend eat in. Oh, delusional Karen. Cop tells her he is there for a reported assault. Cop calls for an ambulance as a second cop shows up. Karen starts screaming that the employee is faking his injury as a third cop rolls up. Karen screams that she was the one assaulted by everyone within a quarter-mile radius. Typical Karen crap. Ambulance shows up and starts treating everyone. Owner invites one of the officers inside. Meanwhile, outside, Karen demands to leave. Nope, not happening. She has to stay while this is being investigated. Owner has cameras inside and outside. Karen's tirade is all on camera, including the person who was getting his food delivered by the employee. He had his camera rolling and got audio of Karen in all her glory. When told she could not leave and was going to be arrested, Karen reacts by screaming and pinching the cop on the arm so hard he had a bruise. Oh, Not Karen never moved during all of this. Owner said her eyes looked like tennis balls bugging out of her head. She was allowed to leave as she did nothing. Employee had 2 broken toes. Yup, raging Karen stomped that hard. Karen was handcuffed, put in a police car, and taken to jail, screaming all the way how she would have everyone's badge. Again, typical Karen crap. All of this because she was sick and tired of eating takeout. One of the cops came by the restaurant the next day to ask about the employee. He told the owner how in the last month or so, there was an uptick in people getting arrested, banned from businesses, trespass orders, who have never been in trouble with the law, in the age group of approximately 55 to 70 years old. Yup, Karen, 58 years old, never been arrested, no problems at all, will likely serve some time in jail, as well as being sued by the employee. Their reasoning? They are frustrated over this COVID-19 thing. Yikes. This Karen really took entitlement to the next level. Let's be real here. You can't force yourself into a business that isn't offering dine-in service and assault an employee out of frustration, then proceed to lie to the police and expect the cops to carry you to your table. What a revolting woman. Our final story is titled, When Kill 'Em With Kindness Made Karen So Paranoid, She Thought We F***ed With Her Food. A group of 8 had walked in and were quoted 30 to 45 minutes. It was about 35 minutes in that 2 tables opened up that we could push together, but apparently the leader of the pack wanted to speak with me.
Hi! We were quoted 30 minutes. It's already 10 past. I'm really upset, and I want to know what you're going to do for me.
We're by the host stand, so I peer over my host's shoulder and ask her to point out where they are on the list. Sure enough, Amanda, 8. 30 to 45 minutes. I double check with my host. Yes, I absolutely verbalize the quoted time every time. I'd be stupid not to. This is one of those hosts who's actually too good at her job that they fear promoting her. Ain't that a real support staff? There's no doubt in mind. I turn back. My host tells me she quoted you 30 to 45 minutes, and we're still in that time frame. And your table's ready as soon as we get place settings on there, so please hang tight. She's not satisfied.
I didn't hear no 45 minutes. I heard 30. Now what are you going to do for me?
Click. Uh-oh. I feel it. A dormant dragon. The inner rage. I recall what one of my favorite veterans passed on to me. If anyone is ever rude to you or trying to get under your skin, kill them with kindness. It's the jujitsu of mind games. It'll completely disarm them. And what are they gonna do? Complain that you were being too nice? Unclick. You know, you're absolutely right. I must be mistaken. The host must be mistaken. And we're gonna do everything we can to rectify this. Let's go ahead and get you sat. And I'm gonna buy the table a couple appetizers on the house. I'm also gonna make sure you get set up with our best server. It was already the server section. I just threw that last part in. Karen is taken aback.
Okay.
I find the server and catch her up on the situation. A wild Karen. Couple free apps. Kill them with kindness. We're all family at this restaurant, so of course she's gonna take joy in this too. She hams it up. We bring them a couple calamari. I walk by the table and stop at Karen. So, how's everything this evening?
Good.
Certainly a lot more demure. She doesn't seem to want to make eye contact, other than the side eyes she was throwing my way as I was walking around the restaurant having a ball with staff and regulars. My management style is one of high spirits. Excellent. Well, let me know if y'all need anything else. She ended up not ordering anything, but the calamari on her end was untouched. The rest of her party seemed to be having a blast, but she just sat there, looking uncomfortable the whole meal. Karen learned a lesson that day about entitlement. Ain't that the way to do it? After all, if somebody is going to demand your immediate attention despite being told politely to wait, why not just smile and make it a celebration? Smile so damn much it makes them feel uncomfortable. I've been ranted and screamed at by customers more times than my brain can recall. But sometimes, when all else fails, it helps not to fight it, but really knock 'em dead with kindness. But what did you guys think about this story, or any of today's in general? I always love to hear your thoughts in the comments and invite you to start a conversation with me below. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for tuning in with me, Jesse. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and check out what other stories I have for you. Have a beautiful day, and try to be nice to someone. I'll catch you in the next one.